Welcome back. So, I'll be doing answers of the self evaluation test today of the chapter A Letter to God by G.L. Fewins. The chapter it has been already explained in the previous video. This is the thumbnail, and there I have already done theme, irony, and message along with 35 questions that I'm going to answer today. So, you will get all this at English for all reasons good. So, let's prepare for your exams. The first question: describe Lencho's house. Lencho's house was the only one in the entire valley. It was situated on the crest of a low hill from where one could clearly see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers. Next is, why had Lencho been gazing intently at the sky throughout the morning? Lencho's crop was ripe and ready to be harvested. Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, knew that the only thing the field needed at that time was a downpour or at least a shower. Therefore, he had been intently gazing at the sky, hoping for a downpour. So, Lencho, he was an intelligent farmer. He knew what his fields needed and at what time they needed. So, at that time, when the fields they were ready, the crop was ready to be harvested, he just knew that only one downpour is required, and then his fields or his harvest it will give him a good return. So, therefore, he had been gazing intently at the sky. Now, next question is, now we are really going to get some water, woman. Is Lencho sure that it is going to rain? Give reasons. So, Lencho, he was a man of farming. He could judge the weather and read the changes in wind and clouds. Since he had been looking at the sky throughout the morning, he was sure that it was going to rain. So, since he was looking at the sky throughout the morning, so he was able to judge the changes, and therefore he told his wife that it was going to rain. Now explain this phrase, dotted with flowers that promised a good harvest. So this means that crop was ready. So when there are flowers on the crop, so it meant that it was ready, it was ripe and ready to be harvested, and it gave a hope of a good economic return to Lencho. Now what did Lencho predict? Did things happen according to his prediction? Lencho had predicted rain that day after watching the clouds throughout the morning. It did rain according to his prediction, but soon it turned into a hailstorm and destroyed his crop. So his prediction it was true, but it turned into a hailstorm and it destroyed his crop. Why did Lencho go out in the rain? Since Lencho awaited rain badly, so when it started to rain, he went out in the rain to have the pleasure of feeling it on his body. So he was so excited when it started to rain. He knew that now everything is going to be okay. His crop is going to give him a good yield. So he just went out to have the pleasure of and have the feel of raindrops on his body. Seventh question. Why did Lencho call raindrops as new coins? Now, this is important. So, raindrops seemed new coins to Lencho because they meant a good harvest. So, raindrops, because it was much awaited, it meant because it had started raining, so it meant a good harvest. So, family depended on the crop for their survival. A good crop would result in good money for him and his family. So, this good money is new coins. So, he even called the big drops as 10-cent pieces and the little ones as fives. This also shows his excitement and hope for a good return. So raindrops here it has been used as a metaphor for new coins. So raindrops are called new coins. Now why they are called new coins? Because raindrops would convert his crop into money. So that is why raindrops are called new coins. What did hailstones resemble? Bring out the irony in this. Now again this is very important question. The shining raindrops seemed like new coins because they softly sprinkled water on Lencho's crop and promised good money. So these raindrops, the previous question as we did, the raindrops they seemed like new coins. Now why they seemed like new coins? Because they were softly sprinkling on the crop and this promised good money. But soon, along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. So they were too shining, lustrous, but they were bigger and heavier in size than raindrops. So when these raindrops, along with raindrops, hail also started to rain. So hailstones, they were too shining, they were also lustrous, but They were bigger and heavier in size. So they therefore seemed like new silver coins. So now they were not just coins, not new coins, they were new silver coins. Now there is irony in this. The irony here is that though they looked like silver coins, they left Lencho empty handed. So you need to understand here. So the hailstones, they looked like silver coins because they were bigger, they were shining, they were lustrous, and silver, it means money. So silver, it also means money. It is expensive metal. But these silver coins, they left Lencho empty-handed. Because of their size and weight, Lencho's whole crop was destroyed. All his hope of good return was shattered. So this is irony in this question. So I hope that this is clear and this is very important question. Now we move on to the ninth one. It did not pass quickly. What did not pass quickly and what happened after that? So Lencho hoped that the hailstorm would pass quickly, but it did not. Hail continued to rain for an hour. Lencho's field became white as if covered with salt. His total crop was destroyed. So it continued to rain for an hour, hail continued to rain for an hour, and because of that, his whole field, it was destroyed. It seemed as if it was covered with salt. So Lencho said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. Why? Lencho saw his whole ripe field get destroyed in front of his eyes. His soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and told his sons that had locusts attacked their field, they would have left something to be harvested. Hail had completely ruined their crop. Not even a single grain was left. So, this is what he meant by saying a plague of locusts would have left more than this. That night was sorrowful for the family. Why? Now, the night of the hailstorm was a sorrowful one for the family. Lencho's family depended on the crop for their survival. Because of hail, all the hard work of Lencho became zero. Without the crop, they would go hungry that year. There was no one who could help them. They didn't even have money to sow a new crop. So that night, it was a night of grief and sorrow for the family because Lencho's whole family depended on that crop, and that crop it was destroyed because of hail. They did not have any other hope, and without that crop, they were to go hungry that year. There was no hope, and they didn't even have any money to sow another crop. How did the family pacify each other? So now Lencho asked his family not to be upset. So even after all this destruction, so Lencho asked his family not to be upset. He encouraging them, he said that it might look like a total loss, but they must remember that no one dies of hunger. So like this, they are sympathizing each other. What did Lencho think throughout the night? And why did he hope for help from God? Now, throughout the night, Lencho kept thinking about his only hope help from God. So, Lencho had been instructed during his childhood that nothing could escape God's eyes, even what is deep in one's conscience. Therefore, he felt that God must be looking at his misery. So, he hoped for help from God. So, what did he think throughout? He was thinking that he doesn't have any other hope. His only hope is God. And why did he hope for help from God? Because he had been instructed during his childhood that nothing escapes God's eyes. God is watching everyone. So at that time, he thought that God is watching his misery also, and therefore he decided to ask for help from God. Lencho was an ox of a man. What does this statement convey about Lencho? The author has used metaphor here to imply that Lencho was a very hard-working man. He worked tirelessly in the fields like an ox. So again, it's a metaphor. He worked tirelessly in the fields like an ox. How did Lencho plan to take help from God? Now, Lencho decided to write a letter to God asking for 100 pesos in order to sow his field again and live until the crop was harvested. So, he decided to ask for money so that he can sow another crop and use some of that money to survive until that new crop was harvested. To whom did Lencho address his letter to? What did he write in it? Now, Lencho addressed his letter to God and he wrote to God that if he didn't help him and his family, they would go hungry that year. Also, he asked for 100 pesos in order to sow his field again and live until the crop was harvested. Now, how did he post that letter? Lencho went to the town himself to post the letter. He took an envelope and wrote to God on it. Then he placed his letter inside the envelope, took a stamp from the post office, affixed it on the letter, and dropped it into the mailbox. So he went to town to do all this. Why did the postman have a hearty laugh? Now, when the postman saw a letter addressed to God, he had a hearty laugh. He had never known or read such an address before. So he took the letter with the strange address to the postmaster. So postman obviously had never seen such a letter and therefore he laughed at when he read that address. Now why did postmaster become serious almost immediately? Now, at first, the postmaster also laughed at the strange address, but sensing the deep faith of the person who had written that letter, he became serious almost immediately. The postmaster was astonished at the faith of the man who actually started a conversation with God. He wished he too had the faith like that man. So, postmaster पहले तो वो हंसा पोस्टमैन की तरह but then almost immediately he became serious और उसे लगा कि इस आदमी ने जिसने ये लेटर लिखी है उसका कितना विश्वास है गॉड में so he almost immediately he became serious and he was astonished at the faith of the man and he wished और उसे लगा कि काश ये faith मेरे अंदर भी होता so that is why he became serious almost immediately. Next is what did the postmaster do to help Lencho and why? Or why and how did postmaster help Lencho? So it's the same question. The postmaster was touched to see Lencho's firm faith in God. So this is what touched the postmaster. He did not want Lencho's faith to be shaken. So now when postmaster he saw this kind of faith in Lencho, on receiving that letter. So उसे लगा कि ये जो faith है ये टूटना नहीं चाहिए. So he decided to help him. He therefore asked the post office employees and his friends to contribute a little amount. He himself parted with a little money from his salary to help Lencho. So he took the initiative और उसने post office employees को बोला कि थोड़े थोड़े पैसे वो डाले, थोड़े कुछ अपने friends से मांगे और कुछ अपनी salary में से पैसे दिए to help Lencho. Why did the postmaster sign the letter as God? The postmaster was astonished to see Lencho's unflinching faith in God. He didn't want Lencho to think that God had let him down. So he signed the letter as God to keep Lencho's faith intact. So for a very simple reason, वो नहीं चाहता था कि लेंचो को लगे कि God ने उसकी letter का जवाब नहीं दिया. So that is why when he was putting the money in the envelope, उसके साथ उसने एक letter भी डाली जिसमें सिर्फ God लिखा था. So how much money did Lencho need? How much did he get? And what did he do then? Now in his letter to God, Lencho had asked for 100 pesos, but he received only 70 pesos. He did not suspect that God had made a mistake. He was angry at the difference and blamed the post office employees for it. Thus, he immediately wrote another letter to God to send him the rest of the amount as he needed 100 pesos to sow the crops again and to support his family till the next harvest. So, उसे जब पैसे मिले सो पैसे थोड़े कम थे और उसे ये एक मिनट के लिए भी शक नहीं हुआ कि गॉड ने पैसे कम भेजे हैं. सो ही ब्लेम्ड दी पोस्ट ऑफिस एम्प्लॉयज. उसे लगा कि पोस्ट ऑफिस एम्प्लॉयज ने उसके लेटर में से पैसे निकाल लिए हैं. सो ही रोट अनदर लेटर टू गॉड एंड ही wrote in that send me the difference, send me the rest of the amount because I needed to sow the crop and to survive for the rest of the year. Now next question. Why did Lencho not want the money to be sent through mail? Lencho suspected that the 30 pesos that were less than the money that he had received were stolen by the post office employees. So he requested God not to send the rest of the money by post since the post office employees were a bunch of crooks and would steal the money again. So he suspected that if the letter again comes through post, maybe the employees take out some other money out of the letter. So why did Lencho come earlier than usual to the post office? So Lencho reached earlier than usual to the post office because he was expecting an answer to his letter. He was sure to receive the money that he had requested from God. So the following Sunday he came early, a little early to the post office because he was expecting that he would get an answer from God. Bring out the element of irony in the chapter. Now this detailed answer, it is in the previous video. The thumbnail I've already shown you and the link is in the description box. So you can have that answer from there. Now what were the contents of Lencho's first letter? So in his first letter, uh, in his first letter, Lencho addressed God and wrote that if God didn't help him, his family and he would go hungry that day. He asked for 100 pesos to sow his crop and survive until the crop is harvested. Then, what he wrote in his second letter. Now, his second letter was also addressed to God. In this letter, he complained about the post office employees whom he thought had stolen 30 pesos out of the money he was sent by God. Therefore, he asked God to send the rest of the amount that he needed as he needed it urgently. Along with this, he also instructed God not to send the money through post because the post office employees were a bunch of crooks. So, this was the second letter. Now, if you see the contents of the first letter in the book, so there it is written that he needed it to survive until the crop is harvested because the hailstones, and then there is dot dot dot. The line is not complete. Now, if a question comes that why the line is left incomplete by the author, so the answer that you can write here is that maybe the author or the writer here, he has already explained about the hailstones and therefore he doesn't want to waste time, and he knows that the reader already knows that the hailstones had destroyed the crop. And another reason that you can write is when maybe Lencho, he did not complete the line because he knew that God knows everything. So God already knows that how his crop has been destroyed. So you can write both these reasons. Now this is the long question. It is because of people like Postmaster that humanity still exists in this world. Comment. So, the Postmaster in the chapter A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fewens, is driven by compassion and empathy. He is a fat and amiable fellow with a tender heart. Though he too at first, like the postman, laughs at the letter of Lencho, but almost immediately he is touched by his faith. Being profoundly moved, he wishes for a faith like Lencho's. His kind heart sympathizes with the urgency of need that had compelled Lencho to write a letter to God. The postmaster decides to help Lencho by collecting money from the post office employees and other friends. He himself generously contributes a part of his salary. So, what happens after this? He feels satisfied after collecting the money, although it is a little less than what Lencho had demanded from God. With due consideration, he puts the money into an envelope addressed to Lencho with a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God, for he doesn't want to shake Lencho's faith. This act of benevolence separates him from other people. He represents that fraction of people who serve as messengers of God and strengthen humanity. It is selfless people like him, people who experience contentment and satisfaction by helping others, who make this world a livable place. So, this is the answer. Now, if you go through the answer again, I'll take you through the answer once again. You will find that this can serve as the character sketch of the postmaster also. So, now let's have a look at the answer again. So, now if you see the words in green, so these are the character traits that are required in the character sketch. So we also have the physical appearance that is given. He is fat and an amiable fellow with a tender heart. So this can also serve as the character sketch of postmaster. So postmaster in the chapter A Letter to God, written by, we've written even the name of the author. So he is driven by compassion and empathy. So in the beginning, we have brought two important qualities of the postmaster. So like this, you can frame a character sketch also out of this answer. Now in the end, when you want to end the character sketch, so the last line you can write that Postmaster is an admirable character in this story, or I admire Postmaster for these qualities in the story. So like this you can end the character sketch. And here again the long question, if you see how I have answered, I've, I've told you that there are two ways to answer long answer. You can start from specific and go to general, or you can start from general and then go to specifics. Now here I have started from specific and then in the end I have given general statements. Like here, he represents the fraction of people who serve as messengers of God and strengthen humanity. It is selfless people like him, people who experience contentment and satisfaction by helping others, who make this world a livable place. So, with these lines, I have concluded, and this is generalization. So, according to the question, that it is because of people like Postmaster that humanity still exists in this world. So, according to this question, this generalization and conclusion of the answer is perfect. So I hope that now you know how to answer long questions. Once again, I have explained, and I've also explained so that your preparation for your exams, when you are doing, you keep these points in your mind. And the points, or you can say the words that are in green. So here they are in green, but of course you cannot change the color there. So you have to underline main points and character traits. So as always, you underline the keywords. So now the extract. It was evident that to answer it he needed something more than goodwill, ink, and paper. So now who is he in the above line? He, of course, is the postmaster. And what did he want to answer? He wanted to answer Lencho's letter that he had written to God. Why did he need something more than goodwill, ink, and paper? Now, he needed something more because Lencho had demanded 100 pesos from God. So, in order to answer that letter, the postmaster needed money. So, it was nothing that he just didn't need only goodwill, ink, or paper. So, he needed money. What did he do to answer it? So, therefore, he asked the post office employees and his other friends to contribute a little amount. He himself parted with a little money from his salary to help Lencho. Now we have these MCQs. Now MCQs here. So let's answer these MCQs. The first one is, what was the family's only hope? So the family's only hope was, of course, God. So God was the only hope. Next is, how many members do you think there were in Lencho's family? So this is a little, you can say, a fun question. So it's not given exactly that how many members were there in the family, but we can always guess. So I think six or more is the answer. Now, if you go through this line, the older boys, they were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house. Now, older boys, again, it means more than one. So we can say two maybe. The smaller ones, so again, more than one. So maybe two or more. And then one husband and wife. So at least there were six members. So therefore, six or more is correct. Okay, now next. Now next is, what did Lencho call the post office employees? He calls them bunch of crooks, a very easy one. Then who read the second letter? So if you remember, the second letter was read by postmaster. It wasn't the postman. So this becomes sometimes confusing. Then what did Lencho find in the letter? So Lencho, did he find 100 pesos or nothing, or 70 pesos or 30 pesos? So he found 70 pesos there. Then he visited the post office on Sundays or weekdays or weekends or twice a month. So it is on Sundays. He visited the post office on Sundays. Next is, at the post office, Lencho dropped the letter on the stairs or on the table of the postmaster, into the dustbin, or into the mailbox. So, of course, into the mailbox. Next is, what was growing in Lencho's field? So it was wheat, sugarcane, oats, or corn. It was corn. So these are the questions, and that's all for today. So I hope you enjoyed it, and this chapter, it is revised for you now. So do subscribe to my channel because I will be doing starting with the grammar. So now I'll be uploading grammar videos. Also go and check the playlist so that you can revise all the chapters and the poems. And next, I'm starting with grammar revision. So stay with me and subscribe. Happy watching and happy preparation.